Dr. Leyland. Step into the future, the world is waiting now. Dreams are in the making, we'll show you how. From the books to the screen, from the stage to the stars. Level up your game, let's raise the bar. Innovation, inspiration, it's in our DNA. Breaking through the limits, we're paving the way. Level up, reach the sky, take the lead, don't be shy. Your story's worth it, your light will shine. At Level Up Academy, it's your time. Oh, it's your time. At Level Up Academy, we rise and climb. Empowered in your passion, your voice will be heard. Building a legacy with every word. From podcasts to pages, from business to art. Level Up's the place where it all can start. With heart and with vision, we're chasing every goal. Together we'll ignite the fire in your soul. Level up, reach the sky, take the lead, don't be shy. Your story's worth it, your light will shine. At Level Up Academy, it's your time. Oh, it's your time. At Level Up Academy, we rise and climb. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, we're trailblazing, breaking through the mold. Dreams are alive, let your story unfold. With courage and pride, we'll take the fight. At Level Up, we own the night. Level Up, reach the sky, take the lead, don't be shy. Your story's worth it, your light will shine. At Level Up Academy, it's your time. Oh, it's your time. At Level Up Academy, we rise and climb. So let's level up and never look back. On the road to greatness, we're on the right track. Together we'll soar, together we'll thrive. At Level Up Academy, we're alive.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Level Up Academy by Doc Leland. This is your host, Dr. Leland. So today we have an amazing sister from another mister. I love her energy. I love her vibe. And also, I got to know her a little bit. We did have a conversation. Everybody who comes into Level Up, I have to have a Zoom conversation with them just to make sure that we are aligned. I am in this journey, guys, that I want everything that I do with alignment, right? And I don't want to offend anybody if I said, hey, I'm sorry, I can't work with you. It's just that I have created boundaries for myself when it comes to energy. It's either you're sucking my energy or we're giving each other energy. And I'm on the latter rather than the former, okay? I have grown in the last 12 months, literally. Can you believe it? It took me so many years, but the last 12 months, I have grown. I have been intentional on whom I align myself with when it comes to my energy. And so please don't be offended if I'm not working with you. You're not a bad person. It's just that we're not aligned at this moment, right? Time will tell, things will do. I love to collaborate with people, but I am all about alignment. And that's why I love this conversation today with our guest, Katharina. But let's be honest, most business blueprints weren't built for you. She's the queen of blueprints, okay? They weren't crafted with your voice, your values, or your vision in mind. They're recycled strategies that work for someone else in someone else's lane, right? With someone else's story. And if you've been feeling like you're grinding without traction or hustling without heart, you are not alone. But what if you could throw out the noise and build from truth inside of trends? What if your business could be a direct reflection of your purpose, not just a patchwork or tactics and survival modes? That's where this moment changes everything. This is more than a business chat, guys. It's a mindset reset, a heart led strategy session, and a full body permission slip to do things differently for you. Okay? Stop spending 10,000, 100,000 a day on coaching because somebody else built a really amazing coaching business. But what if that's not your heart? What if you are meant to do something else, but you're spending all your life savings to do something that you could do? What if that's not really you? Today, we're diving into the Entrepreneurial Blueprint, a neuroscience driven framework built to align your work with your why, sharpen that vision, and help you lead with clarity and confidence. Remember what my success formula is. Keyword mine. It could be yours too. 3 C's, right? C to the third power plus RA minus E. It spells cray. I know. But the 3 C's are clarity, courage, consistency, and you add radical accountability. No more excuses. We're full of excuses, including me. Believe me on that one. Okay. And then minus the ego, because that literally gets in the way. Okay, so buckle up. You're not here by accident. You're here because you're ready to build something that actually feels like you. And I cannot wait for that conversation to start. But first, you guys already know I have what? Sponsors in this group. So I got to make sure that my sponsors are provided with information. So let's go ahead and go to my sponsorship. Welcome, everyone. This is Dr. Leland. Welcome to our sponsorship program here at Level Up Academy. My first sponsor, it is Moving Beyond Boxes by Susanna Dawn. And this sponsorship is all about public speaking, ghostwriting, editing, teaching, creating courses, and most importantly, really going into the organization and looking at productivity and the correlation between belonging and productivity. So if your employees are feeling like they belong, right? They're working with a purpose. Remember, guys, the old school way of leadership is no longer going to work 2 to 5 years from now, right? Susanna Dawn is a cutting edge leader who's going to lead your organization into a path of feeling inclusive. They feel like they belong and they can work in an organization who listens to them and they feel valued, heard, and seen. So that is Susanna Dawn, Moving Beyond Boxes. And our next one is our sponsor, the Redneck Connector, Mike Asherbanner, the Master Connector. Go ahead and scan that QR code so you can join the Hounds of Business community. This is the only community that I belong to out of all the communities out there. The reason being is that we are all people who are passionate about leveling up and helping others grow. Also feel valued, heard, and seen. The next one I have right now, it is Bass Porter. Go ahead and scan that QR code for his 8-week transformational journey program. And as you can see here, he actually provides structure on what is the value for that week. From week 1 to 2, it's rapid energy reset. 3 to 4 is identity reclamation. 5 to 6 is relationship revolution. And 7 to 8 is sustainable success. Go ahead and scan the QR code and tell Baz, CJ or Dr. Leland sent you. The next one we have is his community for support. So once you belong to his community in terms of the 8-week transformation, he doesn't just stop there. He builds community so you all can learn from each other so that you can sustain what you have learned from the class and sustain it for the rest of your life. All right. So go ahead and scan the QR code for his community. And Our next sponsor here is Bella Grace, the Elixir. They actually sell so many things. Summer right now, you want to lose a little bit of weight. They also have Bella Trim through Bella Grace. But what I'm talking about right now is this elixir. What powers it? Let's talk about that. It has three amazing ingredients. The first one is Verisol. It's bioactive collagen peptides. Literally, it's absorbed and activated through fibroblast within our cells. What does that mean? It basically optimizes the activity of your cells that controls the matrix form and the foundation. So you what? Look beautiful from the inside out. The other one is Cat's Claw BG332. You guys looked that up. It's a potent inhibitor of the master gene that switch for chronic inflammation called NFKB. Okay. And what it does is that it helps you when your knees are hurting a little bit. It's for that joint support because our body is always an inflammation city. So what it does is it helps those. Okay. It's very potent antioxidant and cell protectant. The other one or the last one is astaxanthin. It's basically a place of nature's most powerful free radical, okay, scavengers. Okay, this is very potent. Then vitamin C, it activates for that longevity gene switch for us, right? So we can always look younger, right? More gracefully aged. And this is like the fountain of youth. That is what I love about this elixir from Bella Grace. Try it out. See what you can. It actually will activate for you. It's not a one night thing. Take it out for a spin for about 30 days. Then, of course, last but not least, sponsor, it is a sister company influencing you. It is a social media platform that provides guidance for those people who are content creators, who are business owners, who wants to level up their game when it comes to social media, to mindset, right? How do we post certain things? What are the algorithms? It literally walks you through it. I'm there at 10 a.m. PST on Fridays. Have a beautiful and fantastic day. If you want to sponsor through Level Up Academy, let me know. DM me or email me at lua@levelupbyduckleland.com. Have a beautiful day, night, afternoon, or evening. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening to our sponsors. Okay, I love my sponsors. If you're thinking of doing sponsorship, just let me know. Welcome, guys. Happy Wednesday. Are you guys ready for Katarina? See, I don't know. I actually like Catherine, but I also love Katarina. I don't know. You guys will be the judge, okay? I really love both names, right? Seriously. So let's go ahead and bring her up. But you know, you got to get a little music up in here. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, CJ. How are you doing?
Good, 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 good. I know I was like Catherine, Katarina, same thing. I love both
Yeah,
names. Well, thank you
yeah.
so
I
much for
was
being here.
Catherine. I was born Catherine, but I lived in the States for 12 years, and my friends called me Katerina. Catherine seemed to me a little bit heavy. Katerina she lights up. There you go.
Oh, I would be like, I'm Catherine during the day and Katarina during the night.
Oh, okay.
Hey, a little flair, right? I know. I'm like, I'm Constance during the day and CJ at night. Okay, let's just say that. So, whatever. I'm so glad that you're here. And we have been talking about, what is an entrepreneurial blueprint. But this is usually my first question for anybody who is first time here at Level Up, right? This is not your first time going to be. This is your first day. You're going to come back. I know you will.
Thank
But
you.
think back 20 years ago and find within your timeline some of the significant changes in your life that got you here where you are today.
Right. So I left school, as most people do, thinking that I could figure everything out in a day, but it doesn't happen like that. So I felt rather lost after school. I didn't want to go to university necessarily because I hadn't figured out what the end result would be with university. And I went to a school in Cambridge, the Perth School for Girls, which was focused on getting you ready for one of the girls' colleges. So I left school and I thought, well, I'll become a teacher. And then that doesn't pay very much, so I'll become a model. So I left school feeling insecure, not very smart, and not very good looking, even though my boyfriend said I was. So I thought, well, I'm going to prove them wrong. So I went to London and applied to one of the top modeling schools, and I got in. Then I went to Homerton College, Cambridge, and applied, and I got in there, training college for teachers. And I thought, well, I can't be stupid, I can't be ugly. So I became a teacher, and I loved the interaction with the students, but I did not like the system. And today I'm a founder. I'm the founder of Global Leadership Schools, creating the most innovative, dynamic schools in the world. So we don't start schools from scratch. We transform schools that are already in place. One school in one town in every country in the world. That's our aim. So I became a psychotherapist because I wanted to understand human nature. And that was, I was going in the right direction, but it wasn't it. I was one of the top psychotherapists in Stockholm at one point. And I wasn't even advertising. I had clients galore, but that wasn't it for me. Until I went to the States and found I was an entrepreneur. And when I found that, and I found my core values, truth, greatness, and vision, how many people really know their truth, their unique truth, their greatness or their driving purpose, their vision? How many people can honestly say, I know who I am, I know what I'm up to, I know where I'm going in the next 5 years? I think very, very few. So I created the Entrepreneurial Blueprint consultation for myself, first of all. And then I thought, this is for everyone. This is for everyone who wants to become an entrepreneur. And by the way, if you think you haven't got a blueprint, you have a blueprint. Everybody has a blueprint. And it's either working for you or it's working against you. So that was a 20-year journey. And you know what, CJ, I have never looked back. I have thrived every single day. Okay, I've had challenges, but I mean, entrepreneurship isn't an easy run necessarily. But the challenges make you grow. And I haven't looked back since then.
I love it. You're right. I think that most of our growth comes from adversity. When we have a lot of adversity, not that we would want to, but just life in general every day, we actually go through it, solve it, and move on. What we
Yeah.
should actually do is go through it, solve it, and reflect before you move on. Because there's a possibility that you're going to make that same mistake. I know I did. I did that. I complained so much of why am I attracting this kind of friends? Why am I having this kind of friends? And because I didn't have boundaries. I was picking up everybody. And I was like, wait, I can't pick up everybody. I'm at level 10 on this journey right now on alignment, and you're at level 1. You're not a bad person, but I just cannot invite that energy because I get so drained from user friends. I can't do it, right? So
That's so important. That's so
boundaries.
choose your tribe and have boundaries. It's better to have 3 people that you totally align with than 30 people that you don't, because those 30 people will drain you. It's very important.
Yeah, I have a lot of acquaintances, hundreds actually,
Yeah.
but I only have 3 friends within my circle, and they're really right here, right now to talk, cheering you on. Now, I do have a question for you, right? Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us in like less than 5 minutes, really. But you
Yeah.
created the entrepreneurial blueprint based on neuroscience and purpose alignment. So, what was the moment or experience that sparked that vision for you and said, you know what, I'm going to do this right now and help others?
Yes, great question. Thank you, CJ. It's the moment I got clear on my 3 core values: truth, greatness, and vision. Then I created the Entrepreneurial Blueprint consultation because I thought, why do people have to wait 20 years or search for 20 years? They can do it in one day. They can do this in 4 hours. And they need to know, what's my truth? Who am I? What's my driving purpose? What's my vision? Now, you can't do that in 5 minutes, but you can do it in 4 hours. And I love what you said before, CJ. Don't spend $50,000 with a coach, because the coach may not know their own truth, greatness, and vision. So how can they help you? And they may be thinking, oh, well, it'll take 6 months or a year. Why wait? Why not do it in one day? Why not do it in 4 hours? And not only do you find your truth, your greatness, your vision, but you find your self-sabotage strategy. And that is so important, because if you don't find that, and if you don't reinvent that, you will trip yourself up in the first 5 years. Your business will not work because you're not working. You're not aligned with your business.
Okay. I just got curious. The key word right there. Sabotage strategies. Like, what? I'm so excited. Talk to me about that.
That is so important, CJ. Most small businesses, most entrepreneurial businesses, and the statistics are not really clear, but between 50% and 90% of entrepreneurial small businesses fail in the first 5 years. Why? Because they don't know their sabotage strategy. And everyone has one, because it's part of your blueprint. So your blueprint is either working for you because your sabotage strategy is stronger, or it's working for you. It's working either against you with your sabotage strategy, or for you with your success strategy. And in the 4-hour consultation, what we do is we find both. So what's the sabotage strategy? It's based on 2 factors. One, your identity. Everybody that I've ever known and worked with has had some issue, some trauma in their lives that has affected them. And most people don't heal from that trauma. They just go, well, that's in the past, and move on. It's over. I tell you what, it's not over, because you're shaking your head. You're right. You're in neuroscience, your reptilian brain, your saboteur, your inner saboteur uses that against you. Now, is it your enemy? Well, in some ways it is. If we give our power to our sabotage strategy, if we continually say, for example, I have a client who says, well, I'm an anxious person. Well, what is that going to create? More anxiety. And even if she's not anxious the whole time, she says, I am an anxious person. That's a statement. That's a declaration of anxiety. And she's going to always be anxious unless she changes it. Okay, so that's the statement of identity, and it needs to be changed. Then we have a habit. It could be procrastination. It could be something like, it appears to be a small thing, but we keep changing things. For example, we cancel events. We don't turn up on time. So what happens then? With every action, we are making a statement to ourselves. And the statement is either of integrity or out of integrity. So if we are continually changing, rescheduling, canceling, or not turning up, it's going to affect our business. If we procrastinate, it's going to affect our business. So you can't go into a business expecting success and carry all this stuff with you. You need to reinvent yourself, because It doesn't just affect your business, it affects your relationships, your finances, your family, and your health, lastly. So if you don't listen at the beginning, when you find the sabotage strategy, if you don't listen to it and you don't turn it around, it will affect your health in the end. So this is crucial. And most coaches don't necessarily go into this. But if you reinvent your sabotage strategy, that is your success strategy. So this is really valuable.
I love that. And you did. You saw me like
Yeah, yeah,
uh
yeah.
because now I'm thinking about that sabotage strategy. Like, what is that? It's literally, I think for me, it's that subconscious mind that we have. It's a pattern of behavior or thoughts that we get every single second of the day that undermines our own goals, our growth, our success, right? So it's our mental and emotional escape, really, that hatches us when things get to be real and too vulnerable or too aligned. Most people and most children, and that's true. I'm just thinking about all the kids that you know gets bullied at school and kills themselves or ends up killing themselves. It's because their subconscious mind, they're already not feeling good about themselves, and now somebody else is telling them, because they're at that vulnerable stage of their life, and then they're like, oh, everybody says that I'm this, therefore I am. Once you commit yourself, like you said, it's a declaration of your own self, then you are,
Yeah.
right? So if you trying to say, oh, and that's where I think people laugh about Jekyll and Hyde, but I feel like everybody has a Jekyll and Hyde if
It's
you
a good
really
way
think
of
about
putting
it, right?
it.
Because half of our brain knows it's wrong, but you do it anyway because you just don't want to do it. Like right now, I'm in that situation. I know I have to do it. I've been putting it off for 2 months. I don't want to do it, and then I ask myself, I'm like, why do you don't want to do it? You got to do it, CJ. Like I literally was talking to myself, and I was talking to my daughter. She's like, Mom, why? And I said, I just got. First of all, I have ADHD, so when I get excited and I hyper focus, I want to do it and finish. I finished it, the first assignment on that one, in like 6 hours, and it's supposed to take 2 months. I finished it in 6 hours. I was so excited, I was ready to submit it, and then you're like, oh, 2 weeks later, oh, we need to change this. And then 2 weeks later, you need to change this. I don't like changes like that. It's like you either give it to me in one package so I can do it for you in one package rather than do that. But I know that I also understand that life happens and things change and I have to be flexible. But there are things in my brain that once it clicks, it doesn't get flexible. And I need to undo that. That's basically my perfectionism kicking in, right? Like, oh, it has to be perfect. It has to be just right for me to do it. But life is not just about that. It's literally about launching it while you're still doing it. That's life, right? What's your strategy for that? At least that's me. I'm being selfish right now.
Well, let's talk about procrastination because I think we all do it. We all have, parts of our business, parts of our lives we love doing, and we just want to do that. We don't want to do the other stuff. And my take on that is, first of all, write a list of everything you've been procrastinating on. And you don't have to do the whole list. Don't try and do that. That is way too hard. Just pick one, put your phone on for 1 hour, time your phone for 1 hour. If that's too much, time it for like half an hour. If that's too much, 5 minutes, and start. Start. Because once you start, you want to continue. So you'll be really happy that you've done one thing and it's taken like 1 hour. Maybe it'll take 2 hours. And as you say, sometimes it would take 6 hours. But what normally would have taken you for several weeks or several months took you 6 hours because you were focused and you were ready. So that's what I would say about procrastination.
Yeah, just start, guys. Like, just start. That's when I get upset, like when I have this burst of emotion, whether I'm happy or I'm upset, I tend to write a lot. That's where all my writing and my stories comes from, is from frustration, and I'm trying to fix things. But I can't fix things because I know I'm not in control with anybody else's thoughts or mine. I'm only in control with mind. Sometimes I don't even think I'm in control with my own thoughts when my
Yeah.
emotions just get to me, right? But
Yes.
yeah, sabotage strategies. One of them I know is procrastination. The other one is downplaying our wins, right? You achieve something big, then you just kind of shrug it off, right? For like, okay, whatever, it's just, I'll post it. Because celebrating feels unfamiliar or maybe feels unsafe, because when you celebrate in the past, people get you like, oh my God, you're so narcissistic for showing off, your big win. Or why do you always have to have a big win all the time? How do you
Right.
actually handle that?
Right. I think what we need to do is go back to our school days when we were not rewarded, when we were either top of the class or middle of the class or bottom of the class, etc. At school, we don't usually get rewards. So we're trained not to like stand out, but we do need to reward ourselves. If we've succeeded in our business, no matter what the success is, even if it's a little success or a big success, we do need to reward ourselves and have friends around us who will support us. So what I'm saying is that in school, we are actually programmed not to reward ourselves and not to be rewarded. If we look at Dr. George Land's research, NASA research on 1,600 children, he did this 62 years ago on 1,600 children in the United States, but I think it is relevant for the whole world. And he found that up to the age of 6, children are operating from 98% creative genius, which is amazing. And what do we do with that genius? By the time these same children are teenagers, it's down to 12%. By the time they're adults, it's down to 2%. So no wonder we fail. Because, entrepreneurship normally is not taught in schools. Your own brilliance is not nurtured in schools. And we all are uniquely brilliant. We all have some brilliance. So that needs to be brought out in schools. And can you retrieve your genius? Can you retrieve your brilliance? Absolutely. It can be done. It doesn't go away, but we have been dumbed down.
Oh, reflection. I was like, when I was younger, let's see. So I'm very competitive back in the days, right? Because in my culture, in Asian culture, they beat out your grades and your genius out of you, okay? To the last nth degree squeeze. Am I saying that's a good thing? No, okay? We studied 15, 16, 18 hours a day, sleep, and then study again the next day over
Wow.
and over and over. Sometimes we go to school 7 in the morning because we have to do gardening, part of our job, right? We don't have gardeners in our school. We are the gardeners. We don't have cleaners in our school. We clean our schools. That's how we were raised in Asian
Wow.
countries, right? I even when I can remember, I never was good at gardening. I was cute then when I was younger. So boys were like, "Do you want me to garden your plants?" I'm like, "Yes, please." So I have boys just gardening my plants, and teacher think I'm really good at gardening. No, but lunchtime I can cook since I was little, so I always cook, for home ec because we had home ec. But now that you said about that, it's like we don't actually celebrate wins in our school. For us, actually, it was hard because you had to stand out of 7,000 kids,
Yeah.
and the only way to stand out is grades, but everything else. Now that I think about it, we literally are either doing presidents in our classroom, like the schools gave us opportunity to stand out on anything that you wanted to do. And I actually did like that. I was amused. It's always voting. I was president of a lot of clubs, even here in America, to the point where the school says, hey, CJ, they send me all the international students that comes in to feel comfortable. And it got to the point where I had 20 friends from other countries. So I asked the school, can I have an international club? And they're like, what do you want to do in an international club? I'm like, exchange cultures. What do you have in mind? I'm like, food. Like, literally, that was the only thing I could think of, food and culture, like just exchanging. And the school says, okay. And I did. And I think we celebrate our wins and our uniqueness. Like, what is unique about your culture? It does that kind of help you celebrate those small wins, because sometimes we can't help ourselves, especially if you come from the same Asian culture, like Chinese, Filipino. That's where I'm from. People tend to compare themselves too much with materials. I'm not kidding you, right? Who has the bigger house? Who has the bigger bank account? Who has more Hermes? Who has more shoes than Imelda Marcos? Right? Like, that is the comparison that most Asians in my culture will celebrate those wins. And I think about it, I'm like, okay, well, when you die, can you think all of those things in your closet and put it in your coffin? Like, what are you gonna do with that? That's not impact and legacy, right? That is what I'm trying to do. So for those people who have that same culture, it's hard for your blueprints to be successful when all you are doing is shallow things. You got to look for things that makes you happy inside. If you think about, like, if you lose everything today, what would make you happy, right? Because we downplay our wins too, but how do we have self-talk that's healthy? Can we talk about that blueprint?
Yes. So that's the other side of the entrepreneurial blueprint. It's who have you always been? Who have you been at your peak? Now, it could have been when you were 10 years old. It could have been for you, CJ, when you were in school and you were president of several different clubs and associations. We need to remember that moment. We need to go back to that moment. We need to find the emotions of that moment, and we need to craft a statement, a declaration. I call them declarations. I'd like to call them laws, because we create our own laws. They're not affirmations. Affirmations are too weak. So beyond declarations are laws. So an I am statement with which describes exactly who you were being at your peak state. So that you look at that every day and you go directly into your peak state, right? So when you've got that, and when you have looked at your sabotage strategy and the statement of, for example, I'm an anxious person, you can turn that around to I am a person who is full of peace and always present. Because if you're present, you're not worrying about the future, you're not worrying about the past, you are very present. So that's just an example, for example. And then you turn around your statement, your weakness statement that undermines you. When you have that, you have your success strategy. And when you have your two identity statements, and then you have your habit turned around, then at that point, my clients say, oh my God, Katerina, if this is me, which it is, I can do anything. And I've always wanted to do that. So then they come up with their wow idea, their offer that cannot be refused, because it's an offer that everybody or most people would want. So come up with their offer, and then they come up with their vision, and then they are aligned with their identity. We have a driving force to be consistent with who we say we are. It's in our human nature. So our identity, our new habit, our driving purpose, and then our 1 year, 3 year, 5 year vision. And if we stay on track with that for 1, 3, 5 years, we're pretty much unstoppable.
I love that. Mike, did you hear that? Mike is the founder of Hounds of Business Community, and he's here. He's so funny. He's like, CJ was probably the principal of her school when she was in high school. Actually, okay, funny story. The city that I lived in Escondido, I'm still here really in high school. The city gave me the key to the city because I spent 1,000 hours volunteering for my entire city for
Wow,
1
that's
year.
amazing.
1,000 hours. And they're like, why? And I work, by the way, full time as a 17-year-old, 30 hours a week. And people are like, well, you're in school. I'm like, you don't understand. I start zero period. I start at 7 in the morning. And so I graduated not knowing English when I came here when I was 13. I went to high school, didn't know how to speak English, finished English and learned it in 3 months. And I graduated junior year, got full scholarship to Yale, didn't go to Yale. But because I was so determined, like every single obstacles, like, you see that German Shepherd and have this obstacle thing. That was me in my life. Like, oh, school comes really easy for me, guys, because they beat it out of me. Okay. Like, if I have to study 18 hours for 10 years of your life or 13 years of your life, when you come to America and you only have to go to school for 5 hours, I'm good. Give me 5 more. Right? Think about it. Think about it. That was my
Yeah,
habit. So if
beautiful.
you're telling me I only have to deal with 5 hours, and I love homework, I know I'm weird. I still love homework right now. Okay. And so I love highlighting. I love, writing and listening to music and doodling on my notebook. That's who I am. But when you say who have I been, I think I've been the protector. I've been bullied as a kid. So I always protect people on holding on together for everyone else because I don't want everyone else to feel like that. Right? People ask me, why do you mentor people and when do you have time? I said, I make time. It's only an hour a week. You know why I make time? Because I grew up without a mentor and it was hard. It still is, right? But guess what? I don't want, at least if I help one person every 10 weeks, I help one person, I'm going to make a difference in someone's life by the time I die. Because my vision is to be the Netflix of education. My mission is to level up the world through education. That is my declaration since 3 years ago, and I'm still doing it. But I am overachiever. I know. I was like, I know I'm an overachiever. But
But
now I
you were trained to be that as a child. So
right.
I mean, there's part of your training that is absolutely amazing. I mean, to take responsibility for gardening, to take responsibility for cleaning, to train your mind to work for 17 hours a day. I mean, that is incredible. I mean, I think it's too much, honestly. But I mean, there's a happy medium. But but uh, but what a training! No wonder who you are today, CJ.
Yeah, but listen, I got in trouble. I was born a rebel. I get in trouble. My teachers were nuns. And let me tell you, I've never had a class, I don't think, maybe towards like the end of my career as a kindergartner or something, but I remember getting erasers smack on my face all the time or the back of my head because I talk too much. And literally when I get in trouble from my house and my grandmother was the one who raised me, she's like, "Ugh, I got slipped again. You talk too much. Can you just do something? Be quiet in class." I'm like, well, she was saying something that I wanted to address, and she didn't want to address it. So I just talked to my desk partner. And my mama, my grandma, I call her mama. I was like, Ma, how am I can't help myself. Like I just had this urge and I don't know what to do. So they made me pray, I don't know, in the chapel like 2 hours a day on my knees with a rosary. So I
Wow.
learned Hail Marys and Our Father like while I'm sleeping because we had to something that like they had to get the devil out of me because I had too much like not following the rules. I just don't follow the rules. And I'm like, I
Yes.
don't understand why you make this rules. First of all, how can I not talk? Like God made me a mouth. And I'm listening to you literally for 5 hours and I have one question and you didn't want to listen to my one question. Why? And my
Yeah.
grandma's like, Oh, child, I don't know what. So I think there was a year that she took me out of school, and I had nannies and teachers, and we would fly to Hong Kong because my family is doing import export, and I learned ahead of everybody math, everything, because I just got too much in trouble. And so mama's like, okay, let's just give you a private tutor so that you can learn whatever. And then go back to school next year. We just traveled this year. So I did. And when I came in, I didn't stop talking. I still talk like it was my personality.
Now
Oh
you have
my
a
God.
podcast and you can talk.
Right. I was like, see, I was meant for this. I got in trouble all my life just for
Right.
this, guys. You can't
Yes.
stop me now.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
my
you
God.
were coming from creative genius, and actually the school didn't dumb down you. They failed to dumb down you. You are you nurtured your own creative genius. Your teachers didn't listen to you because they had a certain program, but they should have listened to you. They should have made you, a co-teacher in a way, and involved you instead. Anyway, so
Yeah, no, in high school, it was history, and I was getting history so much because I love the maps and I love the color, to the point where when my teacher would go, he would put me as a sub instead of a sub. It was hilarious. And I'm like, what do you guys not know about, history of America? I wasn't even born in America. What is going on in here? And college years, I think I created my own class because I already ran out of class, and my teacher told me to create a class in communications. And it was a sensitivity to other culture class that she put me in, and I love that. And I love this conversation, and I don't want to end this conversation, but let's talk about your blueprint and what you're offering, because this is really an important conversation, and I'm so excited about this. Okay, so let's talk about what you have to offer right now. Talk to me about this book and what people can do actually or expect to get from this book.
okay. So, by the way, anybody listening now and who is going to listen to the end of the podcast, I will give you a code. Connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a message, and I will give you the code at the very end of the podcast. When I get the code from you, I will send you the first chapter of my book, Set to Win. So, what is Set to Win about? It's about your blueprint. It's about your success, taking you through the steps of identity, sabotage strategy, reinvented sabotage strategy, all the way to your vision, because you have a unique blueprint. And you can go through the book and it will take you step by step through that. There is somebody I'd like to acknowledge who's read my book, who's bought my book and read it, Mohammed Farzok Maza. You mentioned today that you had a question for me. And the question was, how do entrepreneurs rewire their brain for resilience? And it's a brilliant question. I'd like to acknowledge you. I don't know if you're on the program right now. Can you tell me if you are? Please speak up if you are. Okay. And maybe we can open up for questions in a few minutes. But so the question was, how do entrepreneurs rewire their brain for resilience? And resilience is absolutely necessary as an entrepreneur. So how do you rewire it? You find your peak identity, you reinvent yourself from your sabotage strategy, you find your driving purpose, you find your compelling 1 year, 3 year, 5 year vision. Now that is key to your resilience because it keeps you focused. The key to your results is focus and energy. What you focus on, what you put energy into, creates your results. We tend to overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we can do in 5 years. So when you're creating your compelling vision, you create your goals with exactly by when. For example, it would be by June 2026, I will have, and then everything that you will have accomplished, and I will have made, and you put the exact figures of how much you want to make in your first year. Most of my clients say, Katerina, I'm going to make $1 million my first year. And I love their enthusiasm, but I usually say, maybe the second year, possibly the third year or the fifth year. Because you're going to have challenges. We will have challenges, and welcome the challenges, because you grow through the challenges. So don't stint on yourself when you're creating the fifth year. But be careful not to overestimate what you can do in the first year. Because you'll look back at it and you go, oh, I didn't do that. Oh, that's terrible. I failed. No, you didn't fail. You just didn't reach the mark. Okay. And so you can reinvent your vision. And just keep going. And that is resilience. Don't be an oak, be a willow tree. Bend with, if we live in an age of information. Adapt AI. Let it work for you. Don't make it wrong. Let it help you write your book or your posts, because you may have the ideas. Give the ideas to AI. Feed it, and it will come back with something even more brilliant. So, resilience, when you are challenged, just keep focused on your vision. Keep focused on your driving purpose, that you're there to serve people, and just keep going no matter what.
I love that. And Mike is there. I'm gonna definitely get the first chapter because I wanted to see, what that means and things like this. And you're right. I think sometimes we are overzealous with our goal. I'm the opposite. I get afraid of doing too much within my goal because I don't want to feel like I failed. And once my brain says I failed, I'm not motivated, right? I know myself enough to not set myself up for failure. So to me, adaptability is powerful. It helps us survive, it helps us evolve and stay grounded even though our life is chaotic, right? But sometimes we adapt so well that sometimes we also lose ourselves. It's a double-edged sword. So we shrink to fit in, bend to please people, and forget who we are underneath the adjustment. So find that true core balance. And I'm still trying to find it, but I think I'm doing a good job because I'm feeling good about myself. That's for sure. Like, oh, wow, I lost that friend. Bye, friends. Like, it's just to me, I used to get sad about it. And I'm an only child, guys. So that's why I get sad quickly. And if you think, like, CJ, why are you calling me a sister? You don't even know me. In my heart of hearts, I feel like I already know your energy. I would not say that lightly to people if I don't feel that energy, right? And in that moment, I feel like you are my sister in kindred spirit. But maybe 5 months from now, you're no longer on my sister. It's okay because you're in a different journey. I don't take that. I don't take that as an insult. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Um,
You're welcome.
Mike actually wanted to connect you, so I already did a LinkedIn message between you two, so you guys can connect.
Thank you.
Mike is the founder of Hounds of Business Community, and I think it would really be an amazing addition to have you in our community. And I said our because I'm part of that community. And Mike and I worked so hard to create a platform for business people to thrive, not just survive in business. And you can't do it alone, so we collaborate to make sure that we do it. And I've worked with him for the last 3 years, actually, since the beginning. And yeah, we've gone and seen through ups and downs, and we lose the same friends, and we're loyal to each other to a fault because we've seen each other really grow, right? And I love that. This is a 3-year plan right now. And this year, I'm trying to grow as much and pivot and really put categories in where I need to be, but not to the point where I niche down that I lose myself either. So thank you so much for being here. Do you have any last minute conversation or last minute pointers for people to think about what is that entrepreneurial blueprint that you already have? What would be your first step?
Well, I would say for people who are in corporate and have always wanted to have a startup, I would say do the Entrepreneurial Blueprint consultation. It takes 1 day. Stay in corporate and work on your business during the weekends, especially if you don't have children. If you have children, it's a little bit more complicated, but take at least 5 to 7 hours every single week and work on your company and work until you get an income and then leave corporate. So for startups, I would say that I work on 3 levels with 3 levels of client. Startups, stuck. If you've started your business and you're stuck or you think you're failing, we can turn that around in 1 day because you need to be refocused on who you really are, what you're up to, and what your vision is. And also scaling. If you're going to scale, you need to grow into that 5-year vision. The person you were 5 years ago is not the same person you are today. So keep growing. And how do you grow? By transforming. It takes at least 30 days to transform. Very few of my clients transform in 1 day. Some people get an aha moment and that changes the trajectory of their lives, but it takes 30 days at least to transform. Most of my clients stay with their blueprint, and it's an actual piece of paper. You can print it out, you can fill it. It's fillable on your computer, and you can print it out and keep it where you can see it every single day and do your declarations. Because most of us are lost. Most of us have been dumbed down. So find your genius and thrive with your genius. That's what I would like to say.
I love it. My zone of genius, I'm still trying to find it. I'm like, where is it? It's fleeting. But I will try to always I lead with my heart, like what feels good in my heart, and I can put my head at night and sleep very, freely. Like I think every day my goal is happiness and joy and also peace of mind. That's those three are my goal every day.
Mm.
I have a peace of mind that I have a roof over my head because it's raining right now in San Diego, which I need by the way because my grass is dying. And I also feel good that I have, adopted really 3 children. My dogs are my 3 kids. My 2 kids, my adult kid. I have one adult kid right now. She's out of the house. I pray for her every day still to make sure that she makes wise decisions. That I brought her off enough to for her to really ignite that passion and brain. She loves music and she's doing audio engineering, so I support that. And my youngest, she is in that transition of I don't know what I want to do, but she's a brilliant artist. When I say brilliant, I don't say that lightly. I take her to comic conventions to really show off her art, and she doesn't like that. But I'm a mom, so I'm an annoying mom too. So I will like take
How
that
old
and
is
like
she, Francis?
she's
How old is she?
17. She'll be 18 soon.
17.
Yeah. She loves art. She wants to go to Italy to actually study art because she felt like none of her teachers really because even her teachers like I'm not even that good. Like she gets told all the time by her art teacher, even advanced art teacher, like in my good days, Bella, I'm not even that good. My problem with her is procrastination. She tells me because she doesn't want to finish it because she doesn't feel good of finishing it because when she finish it, it feels like it's not done anyway. So I've been trying to like get through her like it's okay to finish projects, but even her not finished project is so amazing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I was that half
Please
good.
tell her this, that Leonardo da Vinci, many of his works he didn't finish. He tried to perfect everything. But please tell her this, God is not perfect. God is not perfect. So why should we be perfect? We should not aim for perfection. Who in this world is perfect? Nobody. So just and complete it as long as I'm an artist too, so I can say this, as long as she's 100% happy with it for herself, put it on her wall, nobody else has to like it. She has to like it. And finish
her art.
everything.
Yeah, her teacher took her art all the way to present it to the whole city.
There you
And
go.
she doesn't even want to go. She's like, "Oh, it's unfinished." Like, I just and then when I look at it, I'm like, "Wow, it's good. It's so amazing." The shadowing that I was like, "Oh, this girl, I tell you." And I'm like, "I'm so proud of you. I am so proud that I gave birth to you." Like, wow, you know? I'm like, "I wish I was half as good. I'm not that great." And so she's like, "Mom, you are. You're just not good at certain types of art, but landscape you are." I'm like, "Oh, okay.
There you
I
go.
I
So
will nurture that."
that is self-doubt. And you can actually get over your self-doubt in one day as well. So, but I would like to, because we're nearly
Yeah, the end.
time's up, right? So for people who have listened to the end, thank you and congratulations. And I'm going to give you the code. The code is Dr. Constance Leyland's name, Constance, Constance. Write that in a message to me, and you will get the first chapter of my book.
Awesome, guys. I will actually put this linked as well to her LinkedIn, so you guys will able to find her, and then you can get that code Constance. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time. I cannot wait to have you back again. And welcome to Level Up family. All right. Have a beautiful day today, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
I started in the silence, behind closed doors. Dreams too loud to keep tucked in the floorboards. Late nights, broke days, no applause in sight. Just coffee, hustling that fire to fight. They said, play small, but I'm built to expand. No silver spoon, just grit in my hand. I wore every note like armor and steel. Visibility's a battle, but I'm real and I heal. From invisible threads to the front of the stage, I'm rewriting the script, turning scars into page. Level up, rise above the fear. Let them hear your voice, make your purpose clear. Every step, every stumble, every tear in the rough. You were made for this moment, you are enough. Level up, break through the doubt. Turn the whispers of your past into a victory shout. You ain't just chasing clout, you're building a legacy. Now the world's gonna see what they couldn't believe. Yeah, what they couldn't believe. See the back end, just a headline glow. But success is built slow, where the struggle don't show. Algorithms change, but your mission's divine. You're the brand, you're the vision, you're the power behind. You gave free just to prove you have value inside. Now it's invoices paid and your name amplified. You're not just in business, you're changing the game. And your visibility, that's more than a name. No more shrinking, this is expansion. No more asking, this is commanding. You've been the spark, now you're the flame. Entrepreneur by fire, fueled by name. Level up, rise above the fear. Let them hear your voice, make your purpose clear. Every step, every stumble, every tear in the rough. You were made for this moment, you are enough. Level up, break through the doubt. Turn the whispers of your past into a victory shout. You ain't just chasing clout, you're building a legacy. Now the world's gonna see what they couldn't believe. What they couldn't believe. To the late nights, the lost friends, the risks you took, to the brand you built and the space you shook. Here's your crown, your moment, your spotlight beam. You didn't just chase the dream, you became the dream.